Hello everyone. I am Prerna Garg, Assistant Professor, Jaipuria Institute of Management, Ghaziabad, and I welcome you all to my next video lecture on consumer behavior and marketing communication. So, this is a specialization subject of MBA, Consumer Behavior and Marketing Communication for marketing students. And the topic that we will be discussing today is emerging concepts and issues in marketing communication. So, before we begin with this topic, let's just have a quick recap on what we have already done in the fourth unit. This topic, before begin this topic, we are in a position to understand now that marketers are doing everything and anything to communicate the message of their brand to the consumers. That means marketers and media planners are using different communication tools in order to communicate their brand value to the ultimate target customers. Now, when they are planning to do this or when they are actually doing this, they are having n number of media options through which they can communicate that message. So, we are already done with the different media options and media vehicle that are available with the media planners to communicate the message, but it is not that easy. The problem lies in when you are having n number of options available with you through which you can communicate your message to the target audience. The confusion lies in how you are going to choose which media option is the best, or how would you probably integrate those communication channels in order to convey value to the ultimate customer. Therefore, the concept of marketing communication talks about delivering value to the customer. That means marketers or media planners are trying to identify a strategy wherein they can use and combine different communication tools that are available to them, so that they can communicate the brand essence, the brand value or their message to the customer in the most effective way. Now, when the marketers are trying to do this, they are having several issues associated with it. Whenever the marketer goes for marketing communication or integrated marketing communication, they are having n number of options available with them. They can communicate their message through personal selling, through direct marketing, through advertising, through sales promotion and what not. But then the process of communication that is involved here deals into two essential parties. First is the marketer who will deliver the message, then is the target market who will actually receive the message. But the problem is the way in which the marketer have communicated the message and the way in which the customer has accepted the message should identically be same, and the vehicle or the communication channel that the marketer has opted to communicate the message must be something that is compatible with the customer choice. That means, to be specific, if marketers are trying to identify any communication tool that is obsolete or probably that is not used by the major portion of the society or by the major customer segment that they are targeting, then it is of no use. Therefore, they have to be very sure that whenever they are trying to integrate the communication tools in order to communicate their message to the target audience, they are doing it according to a fixed strategy. So, if we look at the concept of marketing communication, it is the strategy adopted by the individual or a company to reach their target market through different type of communication mediums. And as I have just told, we are having different option available, whether it be through advertising or direct marketing or personal selling or sales promotion or publicity and PR and many more. The entire concept of issues associated with marketing communication are emerging because of the fact that the digital transformation is huge. Just because we have been witnessing different changes and challenges in the marketing communication and in the digital transformation, therefore, it has become a challenge for the marketers to identify those contemporary tools of communication. They have to redesign their strategies according to those contemporary tools and then deliver the message. But can the marketer actually make sure that after using those contemporary tools of communication or after acquainting themselves with the most contemporary marketing strategies for communicating their message, there would not be any pitfall, there would not be any gray area? There would be, certainly, but still let us have a look in today's lecture. We will be discussing at length some of the major concepts that are evolving in marketing communication. That means if any marketer in today's scenario is trying to communicate or connect with the target audience in the market, they can really look forward to these concepts that we will be discussing in today's lecture. Marketing communication is very important, not just because of the fact that the marketers are trying to communicate the message that is associated with their brand, but it is also important because it is actually representing their brand, and it is bridging the communication gap between the marketer and the customer, and along with this they are trying to build their relationship with the customer. A rightly conveyed message is like half of the process, half of the problem for the marketer is already solved. If you are able to effectively communicate and if you are able to touch that emotional chord of the customer through your appropriate message, then half of the sales is already done. Now, marketing communication along with this provide different functions that allows the companies to link their brands with the people or with the other brands. It also contributes, very important point, it also contributes to the building of brand equity by establishing the image of the brand in the mind of the consumers. That means marketers, when use effective communication channels to communicate the message of their brand, they are able to build a brand image of their brand. They are able to position their brand in the mind of the consumers, and when they are able to do so, they can easily witness the high increase in the brand recall and recognition rate. Side by side, it also contributes to the brand equity of the brand in the market. And we all know the fact, a brand enjoying a good brand equity will definitely tend to cover more target market, and the sales and the profits associated thereafter would definitely increase. So, I hope we are clear till here the basic concept of marketing communication. The marketing communication in a nutshell again is how a marketer is trying to communicate with the customer, or how a marketer is trying to use different strategies or communication tools in order to convey the message of their brand to the target audience. Now, let us discuss some of the prominent emerging concepts in marketing communication. Now, the first most popular, or we must say most in concept today these days, is social listening tools. Let us understand the social listening tools. We all are living in this scenario. We all are aware about the social networking sites. We often call them SNS as in the acronym form. So, these SNS are like a part and parcel of our lives now. We will see whether it be millennials, whether it be Gen Y, Gen Z customers, or the coming alpha generation, we all are like glued to these social networking sites or social handles round the day almost. We are so frequently visiting them, or we are probably spending a considerable amount of our day on these social networking sites in order to gain information. That means a marketer who is not looking after this fact that SNSs are becoming so critical in our lives that we are using them almost daily, and that too for a reasonable amount of time, will definitely ignore a target population, or will definitely ignore a medium from where the target population can probably be most appropriately hit. Therefore, what social listening tools is all about? As the word in itself is clear, it is talking about social, it is talking about listening. That means we as a social person, we as a part of a social system, we need to communicate, we need to express our views, opinions, attitudes, we need to share this information with the other members of the society. Therefore, we are having those forums available in the form of social sites, and when we go to them, we always express our views, attitudes or opinions about any product, any service, any brand, any marketer in good or bad sense. Now, when we are doing so, when we are discussing or exchanging such information, marketer needs to have a tap on that. If they cannot do that, if they cannot identify where or how many consumers are actually mentioning them, or they are searching for them, then probably they are definitely lagging behind. So, social listening tools is a great way to keep tab on what customers and prospects have to say about your business, your product or service, your content, your support, and anything and everything that can be shared by a customer on any digital platform. Marketer must listen to it, they cannot ignore it. You never know what information can actually help you save yourself from an upcoming disaster, or probably you never know what sort of feedbacks and views or opinions that you can read on those social platforms can help you devise a new strategy. Therefore, there are certain tools that can help marketer, that can facilitate the marketers in identifying the mentions of their brand. Now, I just came across a recent research, and it says, if we look at the statistical figure, there are almost 30,000 times, 30,000 mentions in a month of just one phrase. And what was that phrase? Where can I buy? And anything. This where can I buy phrase has been mentioned, almost is usually been mentioned 30,000 times, 30,000 times in a month. Therefore, marketers have to capture this data. So, there are two aspects associated with this emerging concept. First is the consumers or customers who are sharing their information, views, attitudes or opinions, and second, you need some tool as a marketer to analyze, to extract those views, attitudes and opinions, so that you can actually draw them into a meaningful pattern and come up with some inference. So, marketers usually identify certain tools that can help them in extracting such mentions, in extracting these opinions, attitudes and convert them into a meaningful pattern. Social listening tools entails monitoring your brand's social media platforms. So, marketers have to be very vigilant about their social media platforms for customer feedback. They have to continuously check the direct mentions of their brands or any discussion that can include the relevant keywords, topics about your competitors, if not exactly your brand, that at least the product category. They have to be very, very vigilant about it. Now, as I have just said, when you are vigilant about it and you are able, as a marketer, when you are able to identify your mentions, discussions about your competitors, discussions about the product category, good or bad, it can be anything. Then what to do next? Next is, for this process of identification is followed by analysis for the data. That means you will need some tools to extract that information and then analyze it in order to draw a meaningful inference about it. And when you want to gain those deeper insights, you will identify the best way to act, and your findings will definitely improve your social media presence, your future content and future customer engagement. So, marketers have to very, very carefully identify certain tools by which they can actually extract the information and they can use this social listening and convert them for better strategy development. Now, I have just mentioned three of the most commonly used social listening tools that are often used by marketers. It can be, the first tool can be Mention. You just sign up for Mention to learn about the demographics of the folks mentioning you and compare the numbers to your competitors. That means this is a social listening tool that will extract the information and they will tell you about the demographics of the customers, their name, their age, their gender, their income, their occupation and much more. Then second social listening tool is Hootsuite. Now, this tool is like you just log into Hootsuite to receive real-time updates for your social media mentions. How many times your brand have been mentioned on the social media handles, and then you can assign conversations to your team. So, this tool is again very helpful because it is trying to extract data from the social media handles and they will tell you how many times the real-time updates rather for your social media handles or social media mentions. The third tool then again which is commonly used is Keyhole. Now, use a keyhole to listen in on industry conversations and to locate potential influencers. So, through this tool, you can identify or you can listen to the current happenings that are going into your industry, so that you are apprised of the situation and you are not just sitting ignorant about it, and then you can also identify the potential influencers. Important term. We will be discussing the concept of social media influencers in the subsequent slides also. So, you as a marketer are also able to figure out who are the social media influencers that people are usually following or who would say anything and people are randomly going by their words. following them, they are actually trusting their words more than what your advertising campaign could have conveyed to them. So, these tools and many more tools that are available with the marketers, they can be used to extract the information that have been shared by the customers, so that you can draw a meaningful inference from this message, and you can develop better insights, better strategies in the time to come. The second concept that talks about is the emerging concepts of marketing communication. The second area that is emerging these days is emotional marketing. Although emotional marketing has been a part since decades, we people have already felt this, we have already realized this fact that we feel more connected to brands that are able to instill certain emotions within us. Now, these emotions not necessarily need to be always happy emotions. They can be fun, they can be humor, they can be fear, they can be anger, they can be anxiety. Now, marketer know that there are different kinds of emotions that are within every single human being. They are researching on it continuously, and emotional marketing has emerged as one such area that is talking about building your campaign, building your advertising campaign, or communicating the message to your target audience in a way that you can touch their emotions with. You can touch the emotional side of the consumers, and we as consumers are also very happy about this, because we also feel if we go to do any research, more than half of the consumers are more likely to buy a product in the future if they actually love the brand story, the way the brand has communicated a story in their advertisement campaign. Consumer feel more convinced about it, they feel more connected to it. People want to genuinely hear stories about real humans, stories that they can relate to, emotions that they can actually feel, emotions that they can relate, or they can imagine, or they can visualize, and they can feel those goosebumps on them. Therefore, marketers have to carefully understand that they need relevant stories that speak to consumers and that can make their brand more meaningful. Gone are the times when the consumers are only looking about the ingredients of a product, the packaging of the product, the pricing of the product, what the product actually intends to do, what purpose it is, what utility it is actually serving. Consumers are actually looking for something beyond that, and when we say something beyond that, here comes the concept of emotional marketing. One more interesting fact that is associated with emotional marketing is, when the consumers are able to connect with these emotions or with the brand that are connecting them emotionally, they often share such stories with others also. Now, just because social media has become so powerful these days and the use of technology is showing tremendous upheaval, we as consumers often share those emotional conversations or emotional brand stories with other people in our formal groups and informal groups also. And this genuinely help the marketers, because this gives the brand an organic recommendations that are more trustworthy than any of the message they would have otherwise communicated to the customer. Let's take an example. If a marketer comes, let's assume a marketer of an automobile industry. Let's assume a four-wheeler marketer. The marketer come and tells me shows me a simple advertisement showing a hatchback car and all the features, the interiors, the exteriors and whatnot. I would find, okay, that I have been seeing such commercials since childhood, but then I just came across a page on my Instagram wherein people were actually talking about this recent launch of this model of the car, and they were like sharing it's an amazing car. You just go for it, the best interiors I have seen, the best build quality that I have seen, the most spacious leg space and whatnot. I would feel more convinced because these facts were shared by somebody who is like me, who is belonging to the category of consumers and not the marketer. So, I would probably feel more convinced about what these customers are saying rather than the marketer, and I would share these stories further. So, I am becoming the advocate for their brands, and brand advocacy, as we all know, is very popular these days. Now, relevant stories that speak to consumers make brands very, very meaningful, as I have just told you, and this is the reason why marketers must focus on why side and not on the what and how. That means what the product is, how it will going to help you, this is the car, it has so many features and this is how you can safe drive it This is not more important. This is important, but this is not that important, as consumer is giving priority to why should I buy it. Please associate certain features, certain benefits, augmented benefits, potential benefits, or something more emotional with it, that I could feel that yes, this is a family car, that I can feel yes, these footwear that I intend to buy are not just footwear, because I know everything about footwears, but yes, these are specifically meant for trekking, adventure. So, when you are adding these emotions to it, I feel more convinced about it. Apple is one of the leader, and it's a great example in how they actually connect with the customers through the use of emotional marketing. They don't sell computers, they offer a way of thinking and a challenge to the status quo by making their products beautifully designed, simple to use and user friendly. Similar goes with Coke. Coke don't promise us to just sell soda or a cold drink, they offer happiness. That's why they use their punchline as Coca-Cola open happiness. Now, this happiness is the emotion that they are trying to communicate. Similarly, Universal Music does not just sell songs, they give you emotions and moments. We usually come across so many brands, and if you will go as students, you must go through certain brands, you must jot down brands that are extensively using emotional branding, and you would see that brands ranging from FMCG category to automobile to luxury, most of the brands are using emotional connect with the customers. With such vision, they move to how they want to achieve this mission and what methods they are going to use to do it. So, marketers have shifted their marketing strategy that was centric towards what and how to why the consumers should buy it. The third concept that emerges is the influencer marketing. So, I have just talked about influencer marketing. We all are aware about the influencers that are being very popular on the social media accounts like Facebook, Twitters, Instagram handles and whatnot. Leveraging the reach of an existing influencer who has built a large following and a strong brand reputation in a particular niche to support your brand, endorse your brand, or co-create the content with the intent to increase brand awareness and drive sales. So, if I talk specifically about the influencers, we all have seen there are certain public figures, certain opinion leaders in the market or influencers who are actually sharing information, who are actually endorsing certain brands on these social media platforms. And as I have just said, we feel more convinced with the views or the information sharing of somebody who belongs to the category of consumers or customers rather than of the marketers. So, marketers have been really using influencer marketing these days because they know these influencers are able to connect with the customers very, very easily. Whatever they say, people trust more than what the brand would have communicated through any of the advertisements. Thus, influencers have the power to shape the consumer behavior, and they are definitely found to be more credible than any of the marketer. Influencer marketing is becoming really popular, and this can be seen through some of the trends that are changing. Millennials these days do not trust advertisements, they rather trust blogs more. Almost half of the people reported that they purchase a product online after seeing it used by influencers on YouTube, Instagram or Twitter. Most of the influencers also believe that it's an honest and authentic voice that keeps their audience engaged. Therefore, influencers with lots of followers on social media networks, they also feel that sharing information with people and making them aware about certain brand is definitely a good task to do, because this is more authentic voice that people can easily trust upon. Therefore, marketers have been using social media influencers as a third emerging concept in marketing communication. Ad blocking is again gradually increases just because we are coming across so many advertisements. Whenever we go to internet, there are advertisements in the form of pop-ups, there are advertisements in the form of audios, videos, banners and whatnot. We often try to control them because we feel cluttered about it. Therefore, consumers have been using ad blocking sites. That means that we are using a software that is capable of removing or altering online advertisements in a web browser or an application. But marketers are also troubled because of this, because they want the message to be communicated. They are also attempting to detect the presence of such ad blockers and informing users of their views. Rather, some marketers are outrightly preventing users from accessing their content until and unless they disable those ad blockers or they whitelist that website or buy an ad removal pass. Though this is an ad removal or ad blocking war going between the marketer and the consumer, and it is difficult to judge who is right, but yes, marketers are again trying to come up with different kinds of advertisements in the forms of banners, in the forms of pop-ups, pop-up windows, commercials and videos and audios while the consumers are accessing the internet. Therefore, ad blocking is ways to identify ad blockers and communicating the message is becoming another mode. The fifth emerging concept is online brand communities. Brands like Nike, Sephora, Apple, they have strong online brand communities and they discuss about their brands. The special thing about an OBC is that people of similar interest or who are having some love towards that particular brand, they love being associated and know about that brand, they come together on a virtual platform which is called an OBC. So, online brand community is a community of people with similar kind of interest and inclination towards a brand who are present on a virtual setup and they are sharing similar likes. So, they discuss their views, attitudes, opinions amongst each other and make each other aware about the recent happenings. So, brands are again using OBCs to propagate any information because they know these are the users who actually like me. Therefore, I do not need to convince them more. They will eventually share that information among their peers and make me publicize. The last mobile marketing that we all are aware about is we have been using mobile marketing. Any message that is being communicated through a mobile device, it may be a mobile phone, it may be a smartphone, it may be a tablet, it may be a gaming console. Marketers are using different mobile marketing tools in order to communicate the information to the consumer. So, these were the 6 important emerging concepts in marketing communication that are being recently used by the marketers. After having discussed the emerging concept, we should also know that there are different issues in marketing communication. It is very difficult to identify at what level the message is actually learned. On an average, it takes about 3 times for the message to be internalized by the consumer, and learning even goes beyond that. So, it is difficult. The first issue is to identify the point when the message is learned. The second issue is, of course, the threat from competitors. As and when you will take a move to communicate a message in a different way, your competitor may take a similar strategy. Third is discerning the effectiveness. It is very difficult to measure the effectiveness of marketing communication, as it has been discussed so many times. There are ethical issues of honesty and integrity associated with the marketer. So, marketers really need to communicate the message honestly and they should maintain integrity. Another objection. There is a serious issue of puffery and deception. Puffery is the exaggeration of the message, exaggeration of the content or the brand in such a way that you are using vague statements. Though it is okay, though it is not actually, though it is permissible in commercial advertising, but yes, this exaggeration somehow confuse the consumers to buy that particular product. So, this should not be done. And next is deception, that is using misleading or false statements to communicate the message, which is really wrong. So, puffery and deception are another issues in marketing communication, wherein the marketer is either exaggerating the facts or they are using deceptive advertising or misleading interpretations or misleading statements to confuse the consumer to buy their products. And the last most common issue is the social issue. That means advertising to children is becoming very popular these days, because we know that children usually take impulsive decisions, and we as parents or anybody as parents would definitely like the needs or the cravings of the child to be served. Therefore, marketers of products like Kinder Joy and many other brands are using impressive advertisements. They are using emotional appeals in an advertisement to target the children, and just because they know that particular age group is not wise enough to decide what is right and wrong, they make it too fancy and the children usually get stuck in it, and of course, the parents have to pay for it. So, looking at these issues in marketing communication, marketers must understand that they really need to communicate the right message to their target audience, but that message should not be at the cost of deception, that message should not be at the cost of misleading or false interpretations, and that should definitely should not be a part, should not fall into the category of any sort of social, ethical or moral issue. Therefore, marketers should use contemporary means of communication, but definitely avoid themselves or save themselves from the ethical and social malpractices. I hope this lecture, you will find this lecture to be really interesting. Thank you so much.